Hello, welcome into Filling Time at Phil Welch Stadium, our third iteration of this series. I'm Keaton Smith next to Jackson Phelps and Andrew Clark, our player podcaster. We are here inside Phil Welch Stadium, filling time in Phil Welch Stadium. We have done this episode a couple of times before. We've learned a little bit about Andrew, about ourselves, discussed the season, and really just everything that goes on with being a St. Joseph Mustang, and about Andrew and his season. So, this last week, you guys had your first road trip of the season. Andrew, what was that like for the Mustangs?
Honestly, it's always fun going on the road. Playing at Phil Welch is awesome. I think everybody in the league would agree that they'd rather play here than at home just because of the crowds and everything and the atmosphere. But sometimes it's kind of fun, like going on the road, being the villain.
Yeah.
And kind of having everyone chirping you and yelling at you and stuff like that. So
I was going to ask exactly about that. What do you prefer? Is there because I know you played at a lot of different stadiums in your time playing baseball. Do you prefer being at home here at Phil Welch or maybe at an opposing arena?
It is always fun, like going on the road and beating somebody, and their fans are like, they think they have a win, and then like they don't. But it doesn't really top playing here at Phil Welch. Playing at Phil Welch is just an experience that a lot of us will never have in our lives. At least 98% of us.
Yeah.
It's as close to Pro Bowl as it gets for a lot of guys. So, I mean, any chance you can get to play in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people,
100%.
Always sign up for that.
Say, I know with you playing MIAA baseball, some games are during the day, like in the week, so maybe only a few fans are out there during the time. It's hard for everyone to come out there and commute to the games because they're at, pretty inconvenient times for everyone. But with these games being in the evening, you get thousands of fans that have been fans of this team for such a long time coming out and supporting you guys. And I think that's a really cool and kind of rare atmosphere for a team of this size. So that's for sure. Really sick. But of all those stadiums you've played in, do you have a favorite that's maybe not Phil Welch?
In the Mink League?
Yeah, in the Mink League or in all of your time playing baseball.
For Mink League, I would say probably Carroll. That was probably, I think, everybody's favorite place to play. The drive isn't very fun.
Right.
But they actually get a pretty decent crowd out there, too. I think first game that we played them there last year, I started. And they had close to 1,000 people there. And I feel it's so nice. The grass and everything's really well kept in shape. Like, guys will be barefoot in the outfield the whole time for BP because it's just so nice.
That's nice.
But other than Mink League,
say maybe MIAA, do you have a?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
I know some schools in there got some money that they like to spend on those facilities. So
I didn't get to see Washburn's field this year. Everybody said it's really nice.
Their football field is nice. I do know that.
It is. But gosh, a lot of the parks are so similar now. Like, they're all turf and they all kind of have the same layout. I think Pitt State's is probably the coolest because they have a cool little their locker room is connected to their dugout, and then they have kind of an alumni suite above the locker room. So you'll see a bunch of alumni or boosters or whatever up there during the games. So that'd probably be the one in the MIAA for sure that I enjoy going to the most. I
see. So are you a turf or grass guy?
I have always said if I can play on a big league grass, that would be my preferred. I want a dirt mound and I want a nice cut in field. But in the D2 world, 99% of the time you're not going to get that.
Right.
So turf is more ideal just because it's pretty consistent playing surface versus.
That's true.
Northwest before our new head coach, that field was you didn't know what a ground ball was going to do. It was every time the ball was hit on the ground, you were just hoping that it didn't bounce over someone's head or kick straight left or kick straight right. But they really upgraded the field this year, and it's awesome.
Okay. I was going to say consistency has got to be the biggest thing when fielding. So I that makes sense from a turf standpoint. Do you have a favorite opposing uniform you've ever played against? Because I know we talked about these stadiums. Is there a uniform that you've seen and you're like, man, those guys look good. I wish I could wear something like that.
In the Mink League, probably not.
That's fair enough. Of all your time playing baseball, I guess.
In the MIAA, I don't like Missouri Southern at all, but I love their cream. They have this cream uniform. We also at Northwest have them too, but their lettering, I think it's just Lions, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it cursive?
Yeah, it's super. It's kind of like the Bearcat, the Cats cursive. Yep. That's what all of us were hoping when we were getting the creams, that it would be Cats with the cursive.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
every time we play them and they wear those are pretty sweet. Like I'm always like, yeah, those are pretty good. Like I like those.
Mm-hmm. I have seen those once. Those are really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we actually first before we move on to that, I wanted to ask you about your activities last night. You got to go to Hot Country Nights last night. I was actually at the Mustangs last night doing my work. I looked down at my phone and I see Andrew on one of my buddy's stories on Snapchat. I was like, I was like, no way. How was that last night? Who'd you get to see?
So Billy Currington was playing. I really I didn't know much or know like who Billy Currington was, but when the lineup came out, my girlfriend, I mentioned it on the last podcast. I mean, she knows every song known to man, and obviously she's a big Billy Currington fan, and she bought like those tickets the second that they dropped like months ago.
Right.
And so we kind of had that on our plan. Yesterday was going to be our thing, and then it was funny because Billy Currington came out on stage and sang like his first couple songs like I knew, and then I heard someone go like, "Patrick Mahomes is here." And I looked straight to my right, and I see Mahomes and Kelsey, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to the concert anymore. I'm just like,
I wouldn't be either.
And then it was funny because I think Mahomes and Kelsey ended up leaving before the encore.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they left, or wherever they went, I couldn't see them anymore. I saw like Creed Humphrey, Drew. I think I'm like 90% sure it was Drew Tranquil. Blake Bell was there, which I don't even know if he's playing in the league anymore. But,
yeah, I know he's still boys with those guys.
Yeah,
so.
and then I think Jared Wiley was there, tight end we drafted last year from TCU. But and then I think most of the O linemen were there, but because there's a 2 or 3 like big stocky white dudes.
Yeah,
standing by Creed and his wife, and I would imagine, or whoever he's with, but
Trey Smith and them all being there because
I didn't see Trey I didn't personally see him, but I feel like that's he is such a big human being. Like you think you would just notice him naturally, but yeah, it was crazy because the whole time for an hour and 15 minutes, all I saw was Mahomes and Kelsey, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like, oh my gosh, there's like 5 more of them.
I was gonna say I noticed that, or I saw that the Chiefs rookies had gone to the Casey Current game, and were all had seats there. And I know Mahomes went to that game too because I know he does a lot of stuff with the Current because his wife played soccer, and they're a big for women's sports. But yeah, they do a bunch of like team bonding and chemistry things, and you got to think that plays a factor into a lot of their success. They bond from 21-year-old, 22-year-olds up until they're 25, 26 at the end of those rookie contracts. So I like to think stuff like that has a role.
Definitely does, for sure.
Yeah.
But speaking more about a little bit more about baseball again, are you the type once, let's say you're pitching, like tomorrow you're probably pitching, are you the type to know or to do the same routine over and over again once you know you're locking in and trying to pitch that night?
I used to be. When I was probably a freshman or sophomore in college, I was very superstitious. Like if I had a really good outing, I had to do the exact same like weighted ball routine and stretch routine and listen to the same songs in the same order. And kind of as I've gotten older, I've realized that like my success doesn't really come from one thing. It's like just me being prepared in the right circumstance for that day. Like I was always a starting pitcher, so I always like I was always on the same time. Like I knew exactly when I was playing catch at 17 minutes.
So warm-ups are big for you.
Yeah.
As a starting pitcher.
It used to be for sure. And then, now, like, especially as a bullpen guy, you kind of just go with the flow of the game.
Right.
So like some days I'll play a lot more catch before I get on the mound. And then some days if I feel good, like I'm going to play to 60 feet and then just get on the mound. Yeah. So yeah, it's something that it's different for everyone. Some guys need that schedule to feel like they're ready to go, and then other guys are just kind of like, oh, whatever.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jace Johnson's like, he'll throw 3 pitches on a mound before he goes in. Like in Sedalia, he threw 3 warm-up pitches to me. I was the bullpen catcher, and he went straight out there. And then other times I've seen him throw 15 if he has the time to. It's like he's just someone that can go out there and throw 3 out there and then come out here and throw 8 to 10 on the mound, and he's good to go.
So really just depending on the situation and the pitcher.
Yeah.
I get it. How about after the game? Because I know obviously there's some things people like to do pregame. Is there stuff after the game that you have to do to unwind and relax for the night, or is there no secret to the magic?
There's really no like specific thing for me. I like to go back and rewatch what I did kind of see what was going on, why was I effective or why was I not effective that night. Most of the times I already know, but because me and Mac talk constantly after an outing and why was I doing this good, why was I doing this bad, and so it's kind of more of just confirmation, like just, the eye in the sky doesn't lie, as football players like to say. So anytime I can go back and rewatch that kind of stuff. But, I mean, anything else? I typically don't eat for like 2 hours after I pitch or play in any sporting event because it's been a thing since I was 14. I just, for whatever reason, right after a game, like, I'm just not hungry. I don't know if it's the adrenaline that's still kicking in, and then once, like, I take a shower and everything and I sit down for a little bit, then I'll be like, I'll be hungry finally.
Say, when I played sports pregame, I would, like, an hour or two before the game, that's when my adrenaline would start kicking in and I would not be hungry. But post-game, I could eat. Even, like, when the game starts, I could eat. But pregame, I could not eat.
I can't eat either pregame. That was me. Still, I have to force myself to eat just because I know I need it. Especially if, we're here at 3 o'clock. I force myself to eat something at 2, and then I'm like, well, I need to eat something at like 5:30 or 6, whether it's just a couple PB&Js or something. But like, nutrition is huge for success and your body being able to repeat. I know we said you have to wait a couple hours before you eat, but is there a specific post-game meal you enjoy? Or? Not really. It's more of, like, if we get done here at 10:30 and there's nothing open, I'll just go to McDonald's or whatever. I don't really care. But they'll have good stuff for us in the locker room, whether it's Olive Garden or Chick-fil-A or whatever, Texas Roadhouse. So honestly, anything that they give us whenever I'm hungry after an outing, I'll eat. I really don't care.
Understandable. So we've seen a lot of success from this roster. We've seen a lot of different lineups coming from this roster. I think that kind of points to the talent that's on this team because you can throw so many different people in so many different places. But from the guys that you've seen this year, if you had to pick a guy that you think would go potentially the furthest in this sport, just based off what you've seen, who would you say? If you had the most confidence of one guy. It's probably a hard question. I know there's a lot of talent on this roster. It's really fun to watch.
Like someone like Diego, like he didn't have the year that he wanted to at JUCO, but he's when he's in the strike zone, he's unhittable. Everybody's seen that all year, and Mac working with him the first couple of days has kind of fixed some things for him, and he's been lights out. He just throws hard, which is the number one requirement to go far. And as a pitcher nowadays, like Freeman, I think Darius, if he sticks to it, and he's always here 2 hours early hitting with a couple of the other guys. Like, I think Darius could find his way to playing the longest too.
Even after an MVP season he had last year for the team, he's doing stuff like that. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, because he's playing summer next year. He doesn't know if he's going to be back at college or not, or if he's going to get a pro opportunity or not. But I haven't really chatted with him about it the last couple of days. But I feel like there's somebody I'm missing on the pitching staff side.
Harrington has been super impressive to me all year.
Yeah, I had a good outing too last night.
Yeah,
5 more Ks.
I can confidently say, and this is no diss to Jaron, but that Jaron will not be doing anything after this summer. Him and I are on the same wavelength of like, this is it. Like, we're done. Unless he starts throwing like 94, which then like he definitely can. He's got the frame and the arm. Like he can do it. But he's got the stuff to do it.
Understandable. So let's say this is more of a joke question, but if you had to pick a guy to go pro in something other than baseball, if there's any secret talents on the team.
Can I say myself?
Yeah. What would that be?
I'd like to say I could probably go for golfing at some point in the next 8 years. I'd like to think I'd get pretty good. But so I'm trying to look down at the field and see if there's anybody out there that's really
secretly talented. Yeah.
Landon Reed's probably the best ping pong player. Him and Perkins.
Really, they go at it?
Were they at the top of the standings?
Yep, top two right now. Perkins actually did beat him 2-3 in the series.
Ooh.
So, but
Reith and Perkins?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both really good. Ping pong players at that level, though, they're They're nuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw this summer or last summer Anthony Edwards talk trash to the Olympic ping pong players, and then like he saw what they were doing in the actual Olympics, and he was like, I can't, like, yeah.
I don't know if anybody really has any like super secret talent.
Yeah. Who did you say was the best golf player of the pitchers that you went out with?
Jaron beat all of us.
Wow.
But I wouldn't say he's better than me. I just think he had a better final 3 holes than I did.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's all it takes.
We also played his, like, of course, he's played a million times, and it was my first time ever playing. So
I think advantage.
I think if the roles were reversed and we played my home course and you played my course for the first time, I think it would be a similar, exact opposite outcome.
Oh yeah, you gotta know ins and outs of it. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say playing a course even one time over is such a big advantage, just because you know, especially if your clubs are like not like for me, my driver's not good. My driver's probably my worst club, and knowing that, like if I know I'm going to a short course, that is such an advantage knowing I can just put that club away for the rest of the day. But okay, you as a pitcher, you don't necessarily get to show off the music as much as the batters because they get a walk-up song, and pitchers don't necessarily get a walk-up song. So I have 8 songs. We're going to go matchup by matchup. We're going to determine which of these 8 you would pick for your walk-ups.
Okay.
So I try to throw in a little rap, a little rock, kind of the popular ones. These are just some basic ones, but we'll see of these 8 what you pick. So first, I have Thunderstruck by AC/DC, and I can play a clip of these songs if you need to hear any of them. But also I have Jump Around by House of Pain.
Is this strictly as a hitter? Or is this what I would?
I think it should be if pitchers had a walk-up song. What are you coming out to?
Well, we actually do have. We have warm-up songs. Yeah.
Oh,
but
my mistake.
So hopefully you don't have mine on there because then this is going to be a pretty easy.
Yeah. So let's hope I don't.
Okay. So Thunderstruck and Jump Around.
Yeah. Thunderstruck and Jump Around.
I think Thunderstruck would be a better pitcher song.
I agree.
Just because you get a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think Jump Around would probably be the better hitter. So in this case, I'd probably just say Thunderstruck just because I'm a pitcher.
Fair enough. I was going to say Jump Around, like if you walk out to that with the bases loaded in a clutch situation, that would go stupid, I think.
Yeah.
But for a pitcher, Thunderstruck, absolutely understandable. Moving on, kind of a 2010s banger was Can't Hold Us by Macklemore or Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an easy choice.
As a pitcher especially, yeah. I mean, that song's like almost like it's kind of an unwritten rule that's like untouchable, like
really,
like because of Mariano Rivera, like you can't use that song
and
as a pitcher.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah, their football.
Yeah.
I've seen the behind the scenes video of their players walking into the stadium with that blaring in. I'm like, I would just kill to be there just one time, man. It looks so awesome. I just love atmospheres of sports. But okay, next round we got Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa or Wants and Needs by Drake.
Wants and Needs by Drake.
Yeah, I concur with that. A newer, a little bit more hype song than Black and Yellow, so I agree. And then we got last round here, Butterfly Effect by Travis Scott, or Cult of Personality by The Living Colour. And if you don't know either of those, we can play it.
I know Butterfly Effect. I don't think I know the other one.
It's the CM Punk walk-in song, or like his entrance song. Yeah. I think you'll know it off the first quarter too. So you skip it. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not a big Travis Scott guy. Like, I like some of his songs, but I'm not gonna say that he's my like. Yeah. I would probably go with the other one.
You gotta be in the mood to listen to Travis Scott. Okay, so Cult of Personality is now matched up with that or Wants and Needs by Drake.
Wants and Needs.
Wants and Needs, okay. Wants and Needs to the chip. Now we got Thunderstruck versus Enter Sandman. 2 rock songs here.
Like, I would probably go with Thunderstruck,
just
because Enter Sandman, like I said, it's kind of like the
you
unwritten rule.
Yeah,
but like
I was unaware.
The name of the songs, not Thunderstruck, the other one. Sorry.
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, Enter Sandman would be the better song to use. So I'll say Enter Sandman just because I like that song. I think it's a better vibe for a pitcher.
So our championship would be Enter Sandman or Wants and Needs by Drake. And I guess Mariano Rivera said you can't touch it. So
I know. I mean, it has to be Inner Sandman. It
Has to be.
It just has to be.
It's a good one.
If
Yeah, it really is.
If it was Thunderstruck versus Wants and Needs, that would be a coin flip for me. It'd be
Really?
like what day, what situation am I coming into?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Like if you're coming in, guy goes out 4 innings, you're coming out of the pen, up 5-0, only a runner on first, giving up a walk. What's the vibe there? Versus you're coming in 7th inning, down 1 run, and they got runners on 2nd and 3rd with just an out.
I think Thunderstruck would be the up 5, and then Wants and Needs would be the down 1 in the 7th.
Okay.
I think Wants and Needs gives it more of like a. I need another word because the phrase I want to use isn't air appropriate. Kind of gives you like the tough, like, I don't really know the word to use, but
like
you're
cool vibe,
like you're just a bad
You mean
dude.
business.
Yeah.
That's your business song.
Yeah, correct.
Versus Thunderstruck is just like you're like, that's
like a basic
yeah.
hype up song.
Yeah.
That's just me. Yeah.
I said Thunderstruck is played before every high school football game ever played. So
Kind of going off what he said, you guys just went on your first road trip. You guys also saw your first Mink League loss to the Clarinda A's, which I've talked to a couple of you guys on the other guys on the team on last week's broadcast. They were talking about how that's the game that every time you guys kind of have them. And you mentioned that last podcast. That's the team that you guys kind of have circled in red, some would say.
Yep.
So just kind of take me through it was only a 1-run loss, but just kind of take me through. It was in their ballpark what that was like with the team.
The day was kind of just messed up from the start because we didn't have a bus. We had to drive ourselves to the game.
I didn't know that.
Johnny told the company 11:30, and I guess whenever they entered it into the database, they forgot to put the other one, so it said 1:30, and the game was at 2, I think. So we ended up all driving ourselves, getting there like at 1:20, and we really just didn't have enough time to get loose and prepared. I wouldn't say that's the reason. That's not the reason why we lost. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities to score runs. We had plenty of opportunities to get outs on the mound, and there's some defensive plays and base running miscues that are gonna happen when you play 19 days in a row and it's 2:00 on a Sunday, and the night before we got done playing at 11 o'clock or 10:30, whatever it was. So, I mean, it was tough, but if we go 18-1 in 19 games, I mean, we're not.
It's a 1-run loss.
Yeah, we're not really we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose lose a game here and there. It's not the end of the world. I mean, once July 20th rolls around, we're gonna be 30, 40 games above 500.
Yeah,
and I mean, we're gonna be eyeing for another Mink League championship. So
just a month from now. So.
I know we were just kind of talking about baseball, but it's a sports world. We're all sports fans. Last night, I don't know if you got a chance to watch, but the NBA Finals are happening. I'm a Thunder fan. Do you have any takes about what happened last night in Indiana?
I have slowly grown out of being an NBA fan.
Gotcha.
I've lost my love for just kind of the sport of basketball in general. I'm not really sure why. I like watching March Madness still, but I'm still just not even as invested in it as I used to be. So I can't. I also didn't get to watch the game last night.
Right.
I've probably watched a grand total of 10 minutes. Of the NBA season overall.
Yeah.
I would say my love for the NBA was LeBron from his beginning of his Heat days to his first year in the Lakers, and I don't really know why I stopped watching it or why I stopped caring, but I can't really give you an answer for last night.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fair enough.
I had grown out of being an MLB fan for the longest until the Royals, Bobby started coming up again and making the Royals relevant again, because there were just such a hiatus of nothing that the Royals had. But I mean, who knows? Your love could spark again depending on the time.
That might be part of the reason too, because Mizzou basketball has been pretty bad to below average.
Oh, I know.
For a while.
Oh, I know.
But 2 of the last 3 years, I mean, they've made the March Madness tournament.
Sure.
So I kind of knew more this year about SEC basketball, especially, or just college basketball, because Mizzou was ranked in the top 10 a couple times this year. So I think that probably basketball would be my version of baseball, where it's if my team's not good, I'm just checked out. I cannot.
I was also same boat with you with Mizzou basketball. I was checked out, and then we got Tamar Bates, Mark Mitchell came back. Those guys really made an impact. And I was like, wait, these guys are from Kansas City back home. I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Beating KU in December, that was awesome to see.
Yeah.
It was funny that day. I watched MU beat KU, and I went to that Chargers game at Kansas City where we doinked it off the field goal post to win that. But that was a crazy day in sports if you were a Missouri sports fan.
Yeah.
But Mizzou basketball, of course, they had to play Drake, with Coach Mack and Bennett and all. It's like of course they had to
they
play
lost
them.
to the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats.
Like crazy.
That was literally the only team I didn't want to play, and it wasn't because I was like scared to play them, but it was more of just like if Mizzou did lose in the first round, I wanted to root for like Drake.
Yes.
Because they were the Cinderella team. There's always that one Cinderella team everybody wants to root for.
Yeah.
And then of course like all the Northwest ties that we all have with Coach McCollum. But as soon as I got that, I'm like, well, we're definitely going to lose because McCollum is one of the best coaches in the country, no matter what level.
Yeah, seriously.
I agree.
And then on top of that, Mizzou needed to play a 1 seed in the first round because they would like play with more intensity and fire. And
yes.
Like when you play a team and we were supposed to beat them, it was like we just come out flat and pull it out in the end, or we lose by 12.
Isn't it crazy how much more confident you would feel with them playing a 1 or 2 seed than an 11 seed? What Drake was like, it's crazy.
It was just a whole about down low. I mean, they did not give us anything easy down low. They kind of controlled the rebounding and the assist games. They played it very smart, And I mean, us all from Northwest. I mean, we lost, but at the end of the game, I was like, well, at least it was Drake.
Yeah.
If we got upset by a 15 seed, I probably wouldn't have been able to go to sleep. But
if we lost to someone that was not Drake, I would have been a lot more upset about it. But I was like, at least Northwest Missouri gets some publicity. And
right.
I mean, hey, Bennett Sturts is now at Iowa along with Mac. So
I'm assuming you guys saw the video of McCollum and Cooper DeJean playing basketball yesterday.
Coach Mack's got some handles, dude. What?
Yeah, dude, they were.
That's crazy.
There was a 22-year-old NFL DB, and I don't even know how old McCollum is, but they were like guarding each other, playing against each other in 5-on-5, and like McCollum was holding his own, and Cooper DeJean's a legit basketball player.
One of my buddies, Gabe Travis, played against them. Played against Cooper DeJean in high school. So and he has a lot of stories about how you throw stuff off the backboard and dunk.
Oh yeah,
he's an insane athlete.
Yeah.
It's just another quick thing that happened this week in baseball. I don't know if you guys saw back earlier this week. Shocking trade. Rafael Devers going to the San Francisco Giants from the Red Sox. One of the more blockbuster trades we've seen. Pretty crazy. And then yesterday, Jack Caglione, first 2 home runs for the Royals. So pretty cool.
Yeah. When I saw the Devers trade, I was like, why in the world did the Royals not? I mean, with all the pitching that we have, I mean, you easily could have sent somebody over there and gotten him.
I agree.
And then you would have had probably wherever Devers wants to play third. I think he wanted to play third or first. I don't know.
It was a dispute with the positions.
I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah, that was a big thing. That's probably why he got traded.
It was
the relationship with the owner and the GM now. But
like
in a real perfect scenario, you have Devers at third, Bobby at short, Garcia at second, Vinny at first, Cags DHing, and then India, Isbell, and then whoever you want in right field that night. It's like, wow, that lineup actually looks really good when you can throw Devers probably in like the 3-hole and then move everybody down the spot. And it's like, I don't know. I was pretty mad. I mean, I was just sitting there. I'm like, dude, how do we not?
I always see trades like that where I'm like, they gave up a 5th round pick, and we why didn't we go after this guy?
It was like the Giants gave up a hard throwing bullpen guy. I think he's a bullpen guy.
Yeah.
But like, got like 5 of those. We don't need 5. Like, we need 5 of them, but like we need a bat more than we need 5 legit bullpen arms.
Just go give them Schreiber, go give them Lorenzen, and call it good. Like just.
Yeah, I mean they could have given Melendez and freaking I don't even know who else. I mean they could have given up 5 guys as long as it wasn't Vinny, Bobby, or Cags.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't have cared. Or Garcia probably too.
Thank you guys for listening to our 3rd episode here of Fill in Time at Phil Welch Stadium. I've been Keaton Smith.
I've been Jackson Phelps.
And I'm Andrew Clark.
Thank you all for listening.